again, we were in that little apartment in Denver, and I had woken up that morning. You know those mornings when you just wake up and you're just in a bad mood. I was just in one of those places, and actually Greg was too. And I don't even remember what we were bickering about, but I had to go to work, and we were going back and forth, just picking at each other and picking, and I said, you know what, honey, let's just stop it. I'm going to go to work, and we'll deal with this when I get home. We'll be at a better place. And so we kind of agreed, and I went to open the door, and I just made one last final comment. And apparently I shouldn't have done that. So I made one last comment, opened the door, and off I went to work.
So I'm just sitting there going, oh, she totally just lied to me. You know, she said no more talking, and then she makes one last comment, and she's gone. So I'm just kind of grumbling there and thinking, oh, great, this is going to become a pattern in our marriage, and she's always going to get the last word in, and, I don't know what to do. But she'd asked me to do our laundry, and we lived up on the 3rd floor, and the laundry room was right underneath us on the 1st floor. So to do our laundry, we'd stuff everything into a big mesh bag, and instead of walking that all the way, hiking it down the stairs, what we do is we just kind of pull it to the balcony, and we just would drop it down to the 1st floor. And we'd walk down there and get it and drag it in. So I'm pulling this big laundry thing.
Yeah,
it
it wasn't a small bag. It was a very large bag. What we wore for that month, I have no idea.
So I dragged this thing out, and I just happened to notice Erin climbing down some stairs. I guess she'd stopped to talk to someone. And so there I am, and there she is walking. And in my mind, again, these reactions, don't they work just as fast? So in my mind, I'm thinking, what if I just sort of, and drop the bag near her? And then I could say, yeah, you watch out, get the last word in,
Unfortunately, this is a true story.
And so why I thought this was a good idea, I have no idea. But I heaved this thing up, and Erin's walking, and I let it go. Okay, and apparently my aim was a little off or on, whichever way you look at this. I hit her with that big bag of laundry. Now, not like straight on top of the head and it broke her neck, and but it hit her. What? It hit her on the side. It sort of knocked her to the ground. She kind of sprawled out, the keys and everything goes flying. She's looking up, and I'm looking down, going, "Ooh, that wasn't good." And in that moment, she jumps up and starts climbing those stairs. It freaks me out. I didn't know she could go that fast. I haven't seen billy goats climb mountains quicker than she could, And so I panic, and I just run back in the apartment and lock the door. So I'm standing there against the wall, maybe she won't know I'm here. And so luckily for me, she didn't pick her keys up. So she's banging on the door, "Let me in, you wimp," and, I'll drop you over the balcony. And so finally she gave up, and she left. And when she came home that night, I had every stitch of clothing in our apartment cleaned and folded, and flowers, and I'm on bended knee, begging her to forgive me. And we eventually did work this thing out. But I wish I had known, to Erin's point, these steps. Instead of dropping laundry on my wife's head, in that reaction mode, or destroying someone's car like you saw in the video, I really do wish that I had had something else to do. And we do use this, not perfectly, but it works when you first deal with yourself, because it sets you up then to figure out what can you do then as a couple. And so we realized that here's the coolest thing that we started to do. We call this a no losers policy. And basically what that means is that it's unacceptable for either one of us to walk away from an interaction feeling as though we lost. We said that's no longer okay. Okay, the win for us now is figuring out some solution that we both feel great about. That's the win-win to us. It's not about me getting my way. It's not about Erin getting her way. That can lead to one of us feeling like we've lost. So now anytime we're making decisions, we now say that, remember, the only acceptable solution is something that we both feel great about. And it has absolutely changed our marriage. And it's straight out of Philippians. Okay, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourself. Each of you should look not only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others. You see the win-win there? Don't just look towards your interests, but also to the interests of others.